Hi, it's Mateusz. In my previous video, we talked why locations are crucial for successful construction planning. Today, I will present you why location-based scheduling is faster not only on your construction site, but also in your office when you prepare your schedule. So, let's jump into our example. This is our location breakdown structure, which we created during our last session. Our project has one building divided for several floors, and those floors we have divided for different types of sub-areas depending on the function and the types of works going to be conducted in those areas. Then we have external areas with roads and sidewalks and virtual locations, which I will talk a little bit more in a second. Now, if we would like to add a first task to our schedule, we can do it from one of those views in the left. For instance, if we go to Tactplan and click plus icon, then we can select the place we would like to add our task. For instance, if I click here, I can see that the task has added and automatically a number of subtasks has been created in multiple locations. You can select locations for your tasks just going to the location tab in the task detail menu. You can scroll, search for the locations you need and just select or unselect them like this. Let's imagine that our task is plastering, so we can select the places where this plastering will be conducted. For sure, it will be on each floor of the building, in the leasing areas, corridors, technical rooms, but then let's check what's next. Facade will probably be not plastered, and then the staircases, let's leave them. Lift shaft and installation shafts will not be plastered as well. Then we have a full breakdown of the locations which the plastering will be conducted. And I click Save. The next activity on our list is painting. So let's press once again plus button, let's add it somewhere here, and then we change the name to painting. And again, we could repeat the same activity and just select the painting areas where we want our activity to be conducted, but that would be a little bit too much clicking. It's much easier just to select those three dots and then copy locations from one of the tasks we already entered before. So in our case, it will be plastering. And then click Continue. As you can see, the sequence has been already copied, and we don't need to spend too much time selecting precisely the same locations again and again. As you might notice, we have a couple of other interesting options under those three dots. For instance, copy sequence from and copy split from. If for some reason we would like to change the sequence of works in our location, then we can just hold this location and drag and drop it to this new place. For instance, like this. Then, as you can see, we start from technical rooms and then go to the corridor communications and leasing areas. Different organization of the works, different sequence than the rest of the site. Maybe this is something you may need. Then, for instance, if you would like to make plastering match this sequence, just go to the plastering, go to those three dots and copy sequence from painting. As you can see, works on the first floor now are orchestrated a little bit in different way than in the others. If you would like just to reverse the whole sequence, you can achieve it a little bit quicker by clicking on the first location, holding Shift, clicking on the second location, and then all the locations in between are also marked, right-clicking, and here reverse sequence. By the way, there are a couple of other options here, so you can also test them to check if they work for you as well. Now, as you probably know, in location-based scheduling, we create tasks which are continuous across multiple locations. So if I click here, you can see that all the task has been marked from the floor number 1 to floor number 5 and more. That means that from the logical perspective, it's exactly the same like in the logic of the construction site, that we have one or multiple crews conducting the same work, in this case it's painting, across multiple locations. In traditional Gantt chart, instead of one continuous task, which is easy to manage and modify if needed, you would probably need to create 10 or 20 completely separate tasks and then manually connect them with the dependencies, assigning the separate resources, and remembering about all them that they are separate and they need to be taken care individually. Here it is one continuous task, which maybe will be a little bit more visible when I undo our testing, and even more visible in the flowline view. As you can see, our plastering is going smoothly from one location to another, and this is how we would like to plan it for our plasterers on our construction site. Since we are in the flowline view, you can also add tasks here by clicking this icon and selecting the locations where you would like your task to be performed. Then, of course, you can correct it by double-clicking the tasks, going to the task details and locations, and as in previous view, you can also add and select tasks and subtasks here. But what if I don't want to go in such details and I would like to track my task on the high level, for instance the floor or the whole building? Then you can just mark this task and go one or a couple levels of location precision up from this menu. For instance, if I select one level up, then I'm dividing my task per floors, and the bars I have now, they are covering the whole floor. If I go with my task one level up, then it's for the whole building, and my task is being tracked on the level of the whole building. Since, as I mentioned before, our tasks are continuous for all the locations, there might be a need to divide them and to split them into a separate subtasks that they are a little bit more independent. Then I can just hover the mouse in the place I would like to make a split, right-click, and split the tasks. And from now on, those tasks are separate, and of course, it is represented in all other views as well. I can also split tasks a little bit more precisely. If I double-click and select the split subtasks icon from this menu, I can also select which tasks, for instance, floor 1 and floor 3 will be a part of one task, the rest will be a part of the second one. And now the split has been done every second floor. As we split the tasks, we may also need to merge them back again. So if I split it, I can mark them by, for instance, holding Control key and then clicking right-click and merge selected tasks. The same you can do by going to Locations and using this icon from the Locations tab. If you would like to learn more about adding and editing locations in Tactplan, you can go to the Tactplan Help Center and just type Locations in the search box. And then, for instance, selecting Managing Task Locations topic. And as you can see, all the topics that we discussed today are covered here as well, and also a couple more. That would be it for today. Thank you for watching and see you next time.